For today's challenge, all you have to do is solve a simple Survivor logo puzzle.
God, why are there so many puzzles? I'm sick of puzzles. I wish there were a season of Survivor with, like, no puzzles.
Welcome to Australian Survivor, Titans versus Rebels.
Let's go! Survivor loves a good puzzle. And I get it, puzzles are pretty cool. You take the pieces, you put them in the right order, and you've made a thing. I even have one on my wall. But did you know we had 3 puzzles in a row to start Survivor 46? And then 3 puzzles in a row to end it? And another puzzle thrown in there for good measure. That's 7 out of 18 challenges in Survivor 46 that had a puzzle, also known as 39%. But what if we had a season of Survivor with no puzzles? Or at least as few puzzles as humanly possible. Also, we cast a bunch of sports legends like a former cricketer, a rugby icon, and Steve Bradbury. Well then, you'd get Australian Survivor, a series that, despite its many flaws, has produced some of my favourite Survivor characters, episodes, and moments. I have briefly talked about how the challenges may be unfair, at least compared to US Survivor, but I reckon there are so few puzzles on this show that it merits discussion on its own. Let's get into it. First of all, we'll start by shouting out Survive R, linked in the description. Then, we'll start with the first season. That seems reasonable to me. So for those of you who don't know, Australian Survivor is a long game. The first season, 24 people, 55 days, 38 challenges. If you were to hazard a guess, how many of those challenges do you think had a puzzle in them? If we use Survivor 46 as a baseline and assume around 40% of challenges should have puzzles, we'd get 15 puzzles for this season, which seems reasonable to me. There were 7, or 18%. It starts off pretty reasonably, mind you. You have one in the episode 1 immunity challenge, one in the episode 3 immunity challenge, and one right after in the episode 4 immunity challenge. I was beginning to think that I was wrong, which seems unreasonable, and Australian Survivor actually had plenty of puzzles to go around. Then we didn't see another puzzle for 8 challenges, until they finally reappeared in the episode 10 immunity challenge. Then there was one in the episode 13 immunity challenge and episode 14 immunity, so we're back on track. Then again, no puzzles for 10 challenges, until the episode 22 reward challenge. What the heck? And we close out with the episode 25 immunity challenge featuring a puzzle. So yeah, not a lot of puzzles to go around here. 5 of them were in the pre-modes and only 2 of them in the post-modes. Despite having almost as many post-modes challenges as Survivor 46 has challenges in general, we got 2 puzzles. But did this have an impact on the season? I don't think so. Australian Survivor 2016 benefits from the fact that they were just starting out. The castaways did not yet realise this would be the norm, and Australian Survivor 2016 features enough chicanery as it is that I don't think the lack of puzzles really impacted anyone's decision when it came to votes. But you know, it's the first season. We'll cut them some slack. They're learning. Let's see what the future holds. It holds near identical. Australian Survivor 2017 has 39 challenges, really upping the ante from last season. And they have 7 puzzles again. Okay. Now to be fair, I do think the split is better this time, because 6 of these puzzles occur in the pre-modes, happening at the episode 1 immunity, the episode 6 immunity, episode 10 both reward and immunity, episode 11 reward, and episode 14 immunity. While the one post-modes puzzle was during the episode 25 immunity. Man, if I had a nickel for every season of Australian Survivor with very few post-modes puzzles, except the penultimate immunity randomly has one, I'd have 2 nickels. Not a lot, weird it happened twice. But again, I think the split is a lot healthier than last time, because what is the point of a puzzle? It's meant to serve as the great equalizer, right? We can get into arguments whether or not it serves this purpose well, but it's designed to ensure anyone has a chance to win a challenge. You can't get by just by being big, or strong, or fast. So good job Australian Survivor 2017, this is a small but marked improvement. Let's keep it up. Champions vs Contenders. 38 challenges, surely at least 7 puzzles, right? No? 6 of them? But why? And only 4 of them take place in the pre-modes, being the episode 1 immunity, the episode 3 immunity, the episode 12 immunity. What? You had 15 challenges in a row without a puzzle? Bro, that is an entire season of Survivor right there. What? And lastly, the episode 13 immunity before the merge. Then in the post-merge, we have the episode 17 immunity challenge and the episode 22 reward challenge. It seems like they've gone backwards, and arguably it's reflected in the boot order. You've got Damien and Steve voted out back to back for being weak, and you get essentially 6 women voted out in a row, with only Zach in the middle because he's such a prick they can't stand being around him any longer. On the other hand, the final 6 is 5 women and 1 man, so swings and roundabouts mayhaps. That's fine though, because the sequel is always better. Let's look at Champions vs Contenders 2. 39 challenges. 6 puzzles. Alright, what's going on here? Am I being pranked? At least 5 of the 6 puzzles were pre-modes. Does that make it better? You got the episode 2 immunity. Oh hey, it's the first time the episode 1 immunity doesn't feature a puzzle. Neat. Episode 4 reward. Episode 5 immunity. Then we take an 11 challenge hiatus until the episode 12 immunity, followed up immediately by the episode 13 immunity, then a 12 challenge hiatus until the episode 21 immunity. Now, is it fair to correlate that 8 out of 12 women went home during the pre-mode with a lack of puzzles? Honestly, I don't know. Survivor is a multifaceted game, and we knew so little about Sam, Sarah, Hannah, and Casey that I bet you didn't even realize I put them in the wrong order during that montage. Yeah, that's right, you gotta stay on your toes around me. Now, All Stars is a bit more interesting. Probably the first time that sentence has ever been uttered in the history of Australian Survivor. Am I right, people? They had 7 puzzles across 38 challenges, but now it's 4 puzzles pre-merge and 3 post-merge, with the pre-merge ones occurring in the episode 3 reward, the episode 7 immunity, the episode 10 immunity, and the episode 13 reward, which is the first time the number of reward and immunity puzzles has been even, which one may argue is a bad thing. Then in the post-merge we have the episode 19 immunity, with 10 challenges between it and the last puzzle, the episode 21 immunity, and the episode 23 immunity. These are all stars. And also Zach is here. I don't think a single vote in the season was decided due to challenge performance. Pre-existing relationships played a much larger role, so we can't really use this season to infer any information about anything. Well, except the fact that not even Shawnee can save some seasons. Now for Brawn vs Brawn, one of the best seasons of Australian Survivor. I will fight you on this. No, I won't. But you think pitching the rippling muscles of the Brawn tribe, like entrepreneur Benny and cleaner Janelle, up against the mighty minds of the Brains tribe, like real estate agent empath Kara?
I'm an empath. I have this ability where I can actually hold people's hands and feel their deep-rooted issues come to me in words.
And Tour de France cyclist Bait what the heck? They'd have some puzzles to try and even it out. And you'd be right in thinking that, good job you. They had 10 puzzles across 39 challenges. Still below the 40% we'd be hoping to see, but you know, I'll take any improvement at this point. There's the episode 1 reward, which barely counts because both tribes opted to cut a log instead. If you're not careful, I will go on a tangent about production putting a log cutting contest in a season with a world log cutting champion, but I digress. Following on we have episode 2 immunity, episode 3 immunity, episode 4 immunity, episode 6 immunity. Whoa, Australian Survivor, slow down. You're almost 2 equalizing. And then the episode 11 immunity to round out the pre-modes. Alright, so they did slow down a bit, my bad guys. 6 puzzles pre-merge is more than any other season, but we still have 4 post-merge puzzles. Episode 17 immunity, episode 21 immunity, episode 22 immunity, which, fun fact, this puzzle was called incorrectly. Let me know in the comments below if you can spot the 3 mistakes with Haley's solution. And we round this out with the episode 23 immunity. They really leaned hard into the Brawn vs Brawn aesthetic, and I genuinely think that's why this season is so good. Well, that and the phenomenal cast, stunning location, and not the urn twist. What a weird twist. The season has its problems, like all seasons of Australian Survivor do, but the number of puzzles isn't one of them. Let's keep this momentum up. Time to talk about blood versus water. We've got 38 challenges and we've got 5 puzzles. What? No. What happened? This is the fewest puzzles so far. You've brought puzzle queen Sandra Diaz Twine to your season and decided to have no puzzles for her to do? Why? Well, at least the puzzles mostly take place in the pre-merge, right? Let's count the pre-merge puzzles. We have the episode 4 immunity challenge. This concludes the portion of the video where I count the pre-merge puzzles in Australian Survivor Blood vs. Water. Make sure to subscribe. 1 puzzle. We were doing so well, come on man. At least the puzzles exist in the post-merge. Episode 14 immunity, 19 immunity, 21 immunity, and 22 immunity. That's pretty cool. I don't want to talk about this season anymore. Oh heck yeah, I want to talk about this season a lot. Australian Survivor Heroes vs Villains is another all-time great. 37 amazing challenges, one of which immediately tried to kill Jackie and George. 5 puzzles. What the heck? However, we got a flip on Blood vs Water here. 4 of the puzzles are pre-merged now. Episode 2 immunity, Episode 6 immunity, Episode 9 immunity, and Episode 11 immunity. Nothing egregious there, I don't think. I may argue that having only one post-merge puzzle, and having it be the Episode 23 reward challenge of all places, with 16 challenges in between it and the last puzzle, is kind of weird, but I'm not going to say it's bad. But are puzzles oddly expensive or something? Does JLP just get bored of watching them? Is he still embarrassed about the wrong call on Brain vs Brawn, and that's why we immediately stopped getting puzzles from that point on? I think all are possible. Let's close talking about possibly my favourite season of Survivor just ever. We've got Titans vs Rebels. If nothing else, it has my single favourite episode of Survivor ever, and I will make a video talking about it sometime if you're interested. Now, do I love this season because it has a good number of puzzles thrown in to get the challenges fair, as you have normal humans competing against literal titans like Kronos? No, although the season is slightly better than the last two, because it has fewer challenges, 36 challenges, 5 puzzles. That's an improved percentage by virtue of doing less stuff. My favourite way to improve. And I'll bet one of the puzzles are pre-merge. We got the Episode 3 immunity, Episode 5 immunity, Episode 6 immunity, and Episode 8 immunity. An actually decent and even spread of puzzles throughout the pre-merge, while not making it so nearly every challenge comes down to who can assemble a dolphin the fastest or whatever US Survivor has them doing. At this point I'm used to there being no post-merge puzzles, so having them throw one in there after several challenges
Several means 7!
and the episode 15 reward is perfectly fine by me. So I think we've shown pretty definitively that Australian Survivor doesn't really care for puzzles, but what's interesting to me is that I don't think it actually had an impact on who goes home even during the pre-merge, except maybe Champions vs Contenders 1. Further research is required and I'd love to hear your views, but at the very least I don't think it's the puzzle's fault. And to be honest, I'm not that mad about the lack of puzzles. I come to Australian Survivor when I want a change of pace from the original. Sometimes you don't want to see an obstacle course followed by a puzzle of some kind. Sometimes you want to see 2 titans face off against each other in a battle for supremacy. Sometimes you want to see a literal torture device designed to break the final 3 castaways' spirit. Sometimes you just want something unique, and Australian Survivor challenges are certainly unique. Except when they aren't. But if you could stop casting rugby and AFL players when you're going to do a literal rugby challenge, that would be great. I'd appreciate that very much. Also, re-edit Titans vs Rebels to give us 300% more Raymond, also known as 48 Confessionals, which will still be half of everyone else in the final 4. That'd be awesome. Thank you. Until next time, I've been Henry Hitman Survivor, and I'll see you at the next Australian challenge.